Denning here from Stampin' with Marcy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Ontario, Canada, and I want to welcome you to my Wednesday afternoon live. I'm just looking to find you here. Oh, there we are on my iPad so that I can respond to comments. Please say hello when you join me. Let me know where you're coming from. Please show me some love by giving me some thumbs up, comment on my video, and if you haven't yet, please click that subscribe button below as well as that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos from me. All right, today I said on Monday, I had a super adorable card to share with you today using the Catching Butterflies. This stamp set can be found in the Celebration brochure. Right. Sorry about that. Here we go on page 6. So this is free with a $60 purchase. That's before tax and shipping here in Canada. So as you can see with my card, the stamp that I'm using is the adorable little girl, and she's got that little butterfly net, and I have substituted out that net and I have put a heart there, and look at this paper. Oh my gosh. So this is a fun fold card. It's an easel card. So this is the way it sits up. So easy to make. Hello, Marina, Jeannie, Mary, Amy. So nice to have you join me. And Carol, so nice to have you join me. Now, you guys, this, oh my goodness, this paper here, the catalog does not do it justice. I ordered it on a whim because I thought, oh, let's just see what it looks like. When you look at the back of the catalog on page 87, you can see it's called the Mother of Pearl 12 by 12 specialty paper. So on page 23 of your mini catalog here, and this photo does not do it justice at all. You can't really tell, but in person, where is that cardstock? I had it cut. Oh my goodness, what did I do with it? Did I bring it upstairs by accident? I'm upstairs cutting. All right, we're gonna, oh, there it is. So, look at that. It is so shiny. It's not well, it's kind of like a holographic because you can see other colors in there. And it's thicker, it's just the one side. So it is $8.25 for the 2 sheets. So it is a little pricier. I don't think I'd be adding it to like class packets unless I bumped up the price of my classes if I was going to include this, because it is quite, the price point there is a little higher, but look at it embossed. Now this is that fun embossing folder. It is a hybrid one. Let me just bring it up in the catalog here. So it's on page 11. It's the Bouquet of Love hybrid embossing folder. So you can see here it comes with, now this is not orderable right now. It's supposed to be back in the warehouse the week of the 24th. So you should be able to next week, hopefully. So a hybrid, you can emboss your cardstock and put your die, and this die has stitching on it as well. So you can put that die in with your cardstock and run that through your machine, and it's not only going to emboss it, but it's also going to die cut it out. But we're not using that, so this is the die set that it is part of. So you can't just buy the embossing folder. You have to, it comes all of this together for $39. But wowzers, this is just like wow. So let me show you. Let's move this out of the way. And I've got my Stampin' Cut Emboss machine right here handy. So I am going to take, and I'm going to center this with that heart in the middle. And I'm going to, before I run it through, I'm going to just place my die cut here so you can see that the way I've placed it, this is not going to show at all because this is going to be over top. But oh, so gorgeous. All right, so let's bring in, you need the big girl here. So this is the standard cut and emboss. So you need plate number 1 and plate number 4. This is the specialty plate. So you just build your sandwich that way. So it's your base plate, the embossing folder. Whoops, turn it the other way. You should always put it through with the spine going through so you don't cause any undue stress or crack that embossing folder. And we just crank that through. All right, move that to the side, and then we take this out and look at that. Oh, it is so gorgeous. So gorgeous. This, you know, I didn't even pay too much attention when I placed that order. I just thought, you know what? It looks kind of cool. Let's see what it looks like. And wowzers, I only ordered the 1 pack. I have an order going in later this afternoon, and guess what? I'm ordering more of this paper because, wow, I love it. All right, so let's just take this and put our adhesive on. So what's the snow situation like for you, Amy? I know you guys in the Greater Toronto area got dumped on the start of the week. Have they got it all cleaned up? It's quite mild here in Strathroy today. It feels like a spring day out there. All right, so I'm just gonna flip that over. Now, all of the measurements can be found on my blog post that'll go live about 10 minutes after I'm done here. I just have to insert my video. So there that is. All right, so go through my pile of stuff here. All right, so I have cut a piece of just basic white cardstock, and I have cut it so that it's going to fit inside the stitching of this frame. This is from the Scalloped Contours dies. So this one here is that die right there, the second largest. Quite lovely. So I cut my cardstock so that it would fit inside just like that. All right, so you can tape off your butterfly net, or let me just do this up. The embossing folder looks fabulous. Yes, it really is. Could you still cut out the heart to use on a different card? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Hello, Marilyn. You can totally cut the heart out to use on, let me just make sure. Sometimes if you press a little hard on your trimmer, it gives little, it causes a little bit of like a lip. So I'm just, because I'm going to be using my blending brushes. All right, so you could tape this off, Or you can, like what I did, was I inked up my girl carefully. And I'm going to pick it up, and I am going to come right up in here so that I get that top part of that handle. And my hearts are cut out. See, there you go. I have not gotten any ink up there. My girl is nice and inked up. So I am going to line this up, and then I'm going to stamp her just like about there. Hello, Sharon. There's tons of banks on snow banks, but the roads are clear. Well, that is good, Amy. My nephew is going up to Owen Sound today. This morning, they were, his work crew were going up to Owen Sound. I'm not sure what they're working on. He's a welder. So they're going up there, so I can't wait to hear what that is like. So as you see there, without masking, I just was very careful with my stamping, my inking up my image so that I could then avoid having that. And then I've already got my hearts are die cut, and I ran this through the embossing folder. So this is from the Sweethearts dies. I'm in the process of prepping up on the dining room table, so those dies are upstairs. I'm prepping for my Saturday soiree in February. Work smarter, not harder. So I am doing that, picking away at getting all my stuff cut and prepped now, even though registration is still open. So my colors are Petal Pink, Crumb Cake, and Polished Pink. Not too many blend colors here. So let's color in our girl. She is so cute. So I'm just being careful with her little tiny little legs to color that in. And I'm going to show you how I masked. It was so easy. I went shopping on Amazon. So I'm trying to avoid hitting those inked up lines because it might be still not quite set, the ink, and I don't want black smudgy bleeding. Usually when I'm stamping and then coloring, I set it aside for a minute or two so that I am sure that my ink is fully dried. But when I wanted to show you how I stamped my girl without inking up that butterfly net, I wanted to do it, show you guys how I did it. It must be you, Sharon, maybe go in and out. All right, so I am now going to come in with my dark Petal Pink and up along her hairline here where it might be a little shadowy, and her ear. I'm going to come in and add a very fine line. The wrists there, and then the top of her leg, just a little bit of that Petal Pink. Bring that down slightly. Her neck, because there would be a bit of a shadow, and then maybe a bit on her chin here, just so that it's a little bit more dimension to her. And then she's got to have rosy cheeks. So we are going to add some rosy cheeks because she's outside running, having fun. So that part is done. Now her hair. I have colored in her hair with the light crumb cake. And you'll notice in my card, because she's got some natural highlights in there. And the sun is shining on it, so we've got some dark and light. So all I'm doing is coloring in all of this with the light, and then I'm going to go in with the dark. I don't want to do too much, I want to do any real blending with this because it is such a fine area. Tomorrow, today is January 19th. Can you believe it? Tomorrow is my sister Carol's birthday, and Carol is on here right now. So happy early birthday tomorrow, Carol. All right, so now I'm going to come in with my dark, and I am just going to pick hairs to have darker very carefully. This is just a smidge time consuming, this part here, because I'm trying to pick like every other hair type of thing so that we have a good combination of your lighter and your darker. You could go just all solid, whatever color. I just thought this would be fun. I was thinking that this was my great niece Ivy. She's out there running around chasing butterflies. And she is a beautiful little brunette, so that's why I chose this color for the hair. All right, so I think I need a smidge more brown in there. It looks a little too like it's grayish almost, so I think, you know what, let's just do this one too. Every time you do it, it's going to look a little different depending on, there. I'm going to call that done for that. Now her dress is the polished pink. You are welcome, Carol. I wish that we could be together to have birthday lunch like we used to. Before Carol moved away, we used to always, we would get together for sister's birthday lunch. It was always so much fun. But now Carol's 5 hours away, so it's a little tricky to get together for a lunch. All right, so I'm just adding little bits of dark here and there. And then I'm going to come in with my light. Thanks, Jeannie. It's the trick is to do it slowly so that you're not bleeding out. And I think I've told you many times how the polished pink is my favorite pink. I just love this pink. It's so fabulous. just going over those areas to blend out that line a bit. I don't want that harsh line. All right, we're going to call that good. Let that dry. All right, so now I was shopping on Amazon and I bought removable labeling tape. So this is 2 inches wide. So you can see how wide this is. It's nice and wide. So what I did was I stamped my girl on the tape just in the memento, and I waited for her to dry, and then I fussy cut out. Now the teeny tiny little feet, they were a smidge tricky, but I think that when you do your ink blending, she pops so much more with that colored background. So what we're going to do is we're going to carefully line this up, and then if you just, when you create a mask, pop it back into your stamp case, and these teeny tiny little hands, pop it back into your stamp case so that you have it for the next time you want to use it. You've gone through all that trouble to stamp and fussy cut out. So as you can see, you have to do a little bit of maneuvering here because to cover all of these, there we go. Give that a press down. So she is ready for me to start coloring with my Stampin', with my Stampin' blends and my ink pads. So my 2 ink colors are Granny Apple Green and Coastal Cabana, the colors that I have used in my cardstock. All right, pop open my ink pads, get this stuff out of the way because we don't want to make a mess. All right, move you over slightly. I'm going to zoom you in so that you can see. So I'm picking up the ink and just making sure my brush is nice and loaded. Light touch with this. You don't want to be too awful heavy-handed. So I'm just moving my lighting here, make it nice and bright. All right, so I'm going to start off the side and I'm going to come in and I'm going to create my ground. Now you can go as heavy or as light as you want with your ground. I think I want it just a smidge darker there, so I'm bringing it up to this back leg that's up in the air. And I don't remember what I paid for my Post-it tape. I looked at Staples here in Strathroy, but I could not find it. So what I'm going to do now, because I don't want this green to contaminate my blue, so I'm just going to flip it over my grid paper, pick up my Coastal Cabana and do the exact same thing, load up that brush. Okay, so then I'm going to come in from the side again, just like on the bottom, And circular motion, color that in. So you could, instead of a heart, you could have a birthday balloon. It could be a birthday card instead of a "You Make My Heart Happy" type of card. And I can see I'm rolling up just slightly there. But it's over the hair, so that's okay. And I'm bringing it down to meet that green. Now I'm going to flip it to the other side here, so I'm coming in that side so that it's not all one-sided, the color. If you keep going in the same direction to move it across, you're going to get one side is going to be a little darker than the other. So I find, for me anyway, if I just move that cardstock and be coming in from different angles and different sides, then I'm going to get a more even coverage with my ink. All right, so I'm going to say that's good. It's probably heavier than I did on my original there. Oh, don't close that because I need my my ground piece. So what I did with that is I stamped off. I'm just making sure we're getting inked up nicely. So I stamped off, and then I'm taking a look at what the distance is between the raised stamp image and that side, the edge, so that I know I've got probably about like that, because she's causing a shadow. And I've stamped off because I don't want it super dark. All right, close that up, get rid of all this. Now you're going to need your take your pick tool, and I did not put that in my, there it is. I don't think I put that in my product list, so I'm very carefully lifting up because I don't want to rip this, because I want to be able to reuse, right? I've gone through the trouble to do it, so we don't want to rip it and have to go and create another one if I don't have to. All right, look at how gorgeous that is. Now I've got another trick to show you. All right, so I'm going to just place her right back in here, stick her on, and set that aside. Now you can see here, because I'm still zoomed in, you can see there that my mask, we've got a little bit of the white background cardstock showing through. So what I'm going to do, and I don't think I added my oops, don't close that, my blender brush. So I'm taking a blender pen and making sure it's clean. The way you tell if your blender pen is still got liquid in it, just if you touch it on the back of your hand and you feel that there is moisture there, then you know you're still good. You don't have to order a new one. These are 3 to a pack. All right, so I've picked up just a titch of the ink from the lid. There is a chemical in here, so I don't want to take this and dip it into my ink pad because I don't want to contaminate that. So I'm just coming in with that little bit of ink, and I am filling in those areas that I may not have quite gotten. And the color might be just a titch darker, but I'm okay with that. I would rather that than white space showing. And then we can go right along her sleeve there. And I think, oh, so I see that right at her foot there, I've got all around her hair. So I'm just going to wipe it, and as soon as it's clear, you know that you've gotten all of that residual ink off. So now I'm going to come in, and I've got a little bit of that granny there, and I'm just going to come in, and you don't want to give her a gangrene foot, so we got to be careful. There. Wipe that off till it's clear, and we are good. Okay, move those. Now look at how adorable is that. So cute, and really not that much work, you guys. Now she is definitely darker than the other, but that is okay. All right, let's move this to the side. Bring in our silicone. So that is the great thing about Post-it removable labeling tape. It's made by 3M. So you can get it in different sizes. Remember the one card, the driving by card, I used the skinny one that I had purchased to create my road. All right, so we're just sticking that in there, flipping it over to give it a press, making sure, and when I did that, I scooched it because I don't want to put fingerprints on here. There, see if I did fix that. There we go. So, and then putting it on the the polished pink really makes it pop even more, I think. So, put my lid on my blender pen. All right, to create our easel card, all right, make sure I'm all the way out. All right, to create the easel card, what we are going to do is, an easel card is a Z fold. So you can see I've got scored at 5.5. That's my bone folder. This is 4.25 by 11, scored at 5.5. And then the other score is, it is scored at 2 3/4 and 5.5. So that is what creates that. So we're just folding and burnishing. So this is going to sit up like this. So we need to attach our Coastal Cabana to our polished pink, and this is the exact same size. This is 4.25 by 5.5, so it's the exact same size as the front of that card. And with this paper, I mean, I know that it's very difficult for photography to get a good photo to really showcase how gorgeous things are. And this is one of those, for instances, because wow, this mother of pearl is just beautiful. All right, so then our inside, because I've got my inside matching the outside with the layers. And my basic white is 4 by 5.25, but remember, I've got all of those measurements on my blog post. I even, in case I messed up with my stamping, I had another piece cut that I don't need. And we aren't done stamping yet because we need to stamp our sentiment. You make my heart happy. And that's why this sentiment is why I chose to use those hearts as a balloon and as my stopper to hold up that card when it's open. So I'm going to stamp it right there and hope that, yep, I stamped it straight and fairly centered. Okay, so, and here is my layer of my Coastal Cabana. So what I'm going to do is take my scissors, and I don't want it quite that long, so I'm just going to snip there and try to make it as even as possible at either end. Then we're going to take our glue and center this. Lift that up so that I can see it a little better. And then we're just going to eyeball it and trim it down. Doesn't really matter though, because you can see it's covered up with that heart. So let's set that aside for the moment. Let's get our girl on here, and we need, you think I should have cut the heart out? Yeah, I probably should have, because it's not going to show anyways, Mary. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, I was so happy with this card. I ran upstairs when I was done to show Brad. I'm like, look what I just made. Yes, I'm that dork that still does that. I get so excited when I create something that I'm really happy with. I show who's ever in the house. And now that Brad and I are the empty nesters, it's just the two of us. He's the one that gets to see all of my creations and give me the appropriate response. Yeah, he doesn't act as enthusiastic as another card maker would, but yeah. Yeah, I should have cut that heart out, but oh well, I didn't. I didn't even think about it, Mary, to be honest. All right, so we are going to layer this on here, center it. Lift that up so that I can see. Give it just a little push to the side there. All right, so where is, on my desk here somewhere, where did my hearts go? That, seriously, I've got two hearts on this table somewhere. Oh, there they are, on top of the catalog. All right, make sure, yeah, she's okay. She's okay. So I'm going to take my liquid glue and my heart, she is, because she's running, it's not straight up and down, it's just off to the side a bit because the wind is blowing it. All right, so we only want to apply our adhesive to this front panel here. Otherwise, if you apply it here, then it's not going to pop up. So we are just going to, it's easier just to do it on this piece here. And then I'm going to open it up onto my silicone craft sheet so that I can see my edges, because pink on pink, you want to make sure that you're seeing it fully and properly. Lining it up, flipping it over to make sure there's no overhang. And then you can see there's no adhesive here at all, so we are good. Give that a nice good press. All right, so then we are going to place our insert inside, lining that up. Scoot you over just slightly. There we go. All right, so you need to decide how high you want your, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a titch of glue right on the corner here. You have to decide how high up you want your card to sit when it's open, the easel part. So if you put your glue on here first, oops, you're a little high. Scoot you down slightly. Oh. If you put your glue on here and get that glued first, when you are placing it in on your card base, it's easier to judge the distance on the sides, I found. So we're going to take dimensionals and place them, and then one here, so that we are all good and popped up evenly. Now, if you want it to sit higher, you're going to put it up higher. But if you want it to sit lower, you put it lower. That's the only thing you have to decide is whereabouts do you, when it's open, whereabouts do you want it to be sitting? So I'm just going to move that out of the way for a moment so that I can judge my distance between the sides, because I want it to be fairly, and this is a little low. There we go. Nope. Lift up. Oh, and I've ripped my cardstock. There. So what I'm going to do with that is just a titch of glue, then take your pick tool and press that down, then use my finger, and you can't hardly tell. Easy peasy. There's another little fix for you. So now this should be dry enough. We don't sell these gel pens. I give one out to each attendee for my Saturday soiree, but it just adds, I think it adds to that heart. So this is plain, this is with that little bit of gel pen, and you can go crazy bananas with how much of the gel pen you are adding, but there. And that is it, you guys. That is my card. Isn't it so adorable? I think so. I'm just like, woo, I'm so happy with it. So what do you guys think? Did you notice the And so there we have them. So this one here is up a little higher because I've put my my sentiment and my heart. Did you notice this paper in the catalog? So then you were gonna write your sentiment here. Did you notice this in the catalog at all, this paper? Oh, it's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. I believe I'll be adding a couple packs to my afternoon order because, yeah, I'm going to want to do more stuff with it because it's just too pretty. Thank you, Carol. Yes, I was so very excited to share this card today. All right, if you are shopping in my online store and your order is under $200, please use this month's host code. If it's over $200, don't use the host code. You're going to get your own rewards with Stampin' Up. And remember, you can choose this adorable stamp set for free with a qualifying $60 order before tax and shipping. Thank you, Rena. Yeah, she is such a cute little girl. So yeah, fun to play with. Love adding the heart instead of that butterfly net. Super, super adorable. All right, and again, she just sits flat like that, but she folds down flat. You might, because of the dimensionals on the inside and here on the outside, you might have to pay a little bit more postage here in Canada. I would just throw a $1.94 stamp on that no matter what, just to be safe. Just to be safe, I would do that. I wouldn't want it to come back to me saying insufficient postage. So yeah. All right, and remember this this paper, oh, so gorgeous, is called the Mother of Pearl. So I'm just gonna scroll through and see if there's any comments. Any questions or anything like that. And now my comments aren't showing. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, my comments have, whoops, have disappeared. Strange. Technology, right guys? Yeah, my comments have disappeared. I don't know. So I'm going to say goodbye. Have a great Wednesday afternoon or evening or morning, whatever time it is you are watching here in Southwestern Ontario. It is Wednesday afternoon. So have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. And don't forget to click that subscribe button below as well as the notification bell. And if you enjoyed my creating, please share my video to your social media. Sharing is caring, and it's how I reach more crafty friends. All right, thanks so much and have a great day. Bye.